Welcome to Naked Spirituality, a video blog series of sacred attention therapy and the Center for Human Awakening. My name is Rob Meagher. For more information about sacred attention therapy, the Center for Human Awakening, and our video blog series, please visit our website at www.centerforhumanawakening.com, and center is spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. These video blogs support one of the Center's core activities, which is collaboration and partnership with individuals, communities, and healers, practicing personal growth and spiritual development. And our guest today is Daganach, and we'll be speaking with Daganach about her healing work. And I'd now like to invite Daganach to come on screen.
Hi, Robert.
Hello, Daganach.
Hello. Namaste.
Namaste. It's nice to be with you.
And you.
I want to open up by thanking you for your patience. This is our second attempt to do this interview. The first time technology didn't cooperate, and I just want to thank you for your flexibility and cooperation and joining us again in this space to share about your healing work. If someone goes to your website, there's certainly a lot for them to explore, and there's a variety of modalities, there's a variety of offerings that they can explore. But how would you describe your work to those listening, to those watching?
Right. So probably what they would find on the website would be a taste of various tools that they can use. But the way I work is more inwardly, meaning I'm going to have to sort of take it back to oneness, right? We're all one. And so everything that we do and are will affect the whole. And my journey has been about discovering this within myself and going on a very intense inward journey with my dreams and through meditation, through visual exercises, all of that. And because, you know, the kingdom of heaven is within, right? And so I encourage people to really go within, and not just in meditation, but also study your dreams. Study everything that's living within you, because that is the essence of what you are. And I think any kind of outer tools are just aids, but that's sort of secondary. So my work is more focused on helping people to find out, when they have a dream, for instance, what does it mean? What are these colors? What are these frequencies? And help them to more unveil themselves for themselves. Because I think that healing has to be about becoming whole first, and then you're able to really, truly be able to help others. You'll function without the tools. You'll function as a catalyst, as a healing agent within the body of humanity that we are, because we're one with the morphic field, or however you want to describe it. So that's kind of a nutshell description. And I describe a lot more about my journey and the way people can recognize their own in the book I've written, and that they can find on the website.
I might come back to the book as well as to the dream work. You describe, or it is described that you do the following things, or you are these things on the website, and I'm quoting here: a spiritual teacher, author, certified astrologer, esoteric psychotherapist.
Yes.
Now, what I wanted to ask first is, what is an esoteric psychotherapist?
Okay, good question. We had no books. Okay, we had a psychotherapist, a certified one, who trained me and the rest of the group in energetic healing. So we could sit, for instance, in the group for hours without talking, and just feeling the energies, working through it. And then somebody might have some kind of a catalytic experience from the energy having built up, and they might start to cry and have a remembrance of something, so their trauma could be released. And the first couple of years, our teacher would do most of the job taking care of it, but we would help. And the second, or the third and fourth years, we would then be the psychotherapists ourselves and help each other. So it's totally energetic work, and very, very, very deep, which is why I also write that I can handle existential life crises on the deepest level.
I was intrigued to hear about the silence component about the training. It talks about in many spiritual and faith traditions that the highest form of teaching is in silence.
Precisely. Exactly. And that's part of the void, right? The void is beyond the mind. It's what I refer to when I speak about the divine feminine. I'm not talking about a goddess figure the way perhaps others do.
Okay.
I'm talking about the void. I'm talking about something that's within all of us, which is like in the Bible, before the light, there was the darkness. That's the realm which is without name. It's void. It's empty and full at the same time. And this is the level from which I operate. So even now, it's like a sense of being empty within my mind, but the words come through, so they're processed somehow with the brain, but it's a flow. And this is what I also want to help people understand. With silence and going within, you access the void eventually. You just get all the clutter out of the way. That's where things can really become magical and divine.
Daganach, how did you come to this work? What's your background? What led you? What guided you to this beautiful healing space you are in your life at this time?
Yeah, but it's lifelong, and I do believe that it's not something from this incarnation. I think it's something that I have learned to master from many, many incarnations. Because already as a young girl, I would have long conversations with God, or what we call God, on my own, sitting high up in a tree or in a field of flowers. And my father is a Lutheran pastor, so I had the Christian influence and spirituality in my home straight away. But I was seeking something more connected to nature and just my own inner communion. So that's lifelong. And then I got very interested in reading everything I could about gods and goddesses mingling with mortals, you know, magic and these other worlds, you know, Narnia. And I was just fascinated. And this is, you know, you can tell by your early interests a lot about yourself. Another thing I encourage people in workshops: what did you love to do as a child? Right? Go back. And then I came into astrology, and wow, it's all these planets, and they're the gods and goddesses. I knew them, so they were like family to me. And that's one of the reasons why I became an astrologer. And it's like the inner world also within us that can help put form to all of these virtues we have. Beauty, truth, warrior energy, which we also need, limitations for boundaries or accessing divine heights. All of these are planetary energies like Mars and Saturn and Neptune, you know. So to answer your question briefly, yeah, it's been lifelong, and it's just a fascination and something I'm natural at, I guess, like a second language to me.
Beautiful. Now, on picking up on a point you made about energy and divine energy, on the home page of your website, there's the following quote. It's beautiful. It says, "Dedicated to helping humanity return to divine natural order and our earth to harmony." End quote. What is this divine natural order, Daganach, and how do you work with people to return to this state?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, divine natural order, the way I mean it, is the way there is order in the universe. Like the planets, that's a good example, right? They all are in natural order, or they would be colliding. Now, we are part of nature, right? Not just cosmos, but here on Earth. We're part of the animals, the trees, everything. But we're cut off. We don't belong in a symbiosis anymore, or we do, but people don't know that they do. So the best way to describe it is, if you think of the morphic field of animals and birds, like if there's danger, a flock of animals will run simultaneously, or fish, when they swim, they move as one, right? That's the morphic field. But humanity doesn't move as one. Far from it. You know, we're all over the place. We're chaotic. And so when we return to divine natural order, it's becoming more and more in tune with your inner self, with connecting with nature, because that's an expression of that, all that is. Respecting animals, respecting trees, plants, and respecting each other, of course. And then gradually you recognize that oneness is not just a belief system, it's what you've become. You've become more and more one with everything around you. That's returning to divine natural order. And you move in sync with things. You find your own biorhythm in harmony with Mother Earth's rhythm. Again, this is something I write about in my book. I call it Omnisynchronicity, which is divine timing. It's like, you know, if you're natural, that's wonderful, but you can be more than natural. You can be supernatural, or what we call supernatural. It just means embodying more of these abilities that are inherent in us all, but so few are able to access. So that's like a gift that comes, or gifts that come, the more you merge with everything around you.
Daganach, tell us more about this book. What the title of the book, and tell us a little bit about. Again, the title of the book is?
It's Star Avatar.
Star Avatar. Okay.
Yes, with a subtitle, Emergence of a Messiah. Okay. And I don't want to frighten people. It's not like the Messiah, but it's a Messiah. And the way I mean it is anointed. I mean it literally, as in someone who has been from previously blessed, in a sense, who has something of value to bring and share. And now more and more people can obviously awaken that within themselves. So the book is an example of my life, this omnisynchronicity or divine timing, meaning instead of having random synchronicities here and there, my entire life has been like a red thread, which are full of them, which I've been able to view and record. So you can see the red thread, you can make sense of it all. And the preface is important because it explains the many different areas within the, let's say, New Age field, or just the awakening themes and topics that, you know, are coming up now. So it has a little bit of an introduction to start with, and then people will notice as they read, it also has an order to it, a natural order, where you move through the body chakras and frequencies higher and higher and higher as you read it. People can also experience a lot of synchronicities in their own lives while reading it. So on Amazon it has 3 reviews, and those 3 describe it very well, I would say, the way people have experienced their own lives while reading it.
So it is available on Amazon.com?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And once again, the title of the book is?
Star Avatar,
Star Avatar.
Emergence of a Messiah.
I'll make sure that that information, the title of the book and where it's available, is scrolling in the credits at the end. Okay. You made mention of, you referenced work with the divine feminine. And that's fairly prominent on your website. Suggesting that you do a fair amount of work around the divine feminine. I thought it was beautiful how you described it. Equally, you talked about how it might not be what many people think of when they hear divine feminine. Can you tell us more about what the divine feminine is for you? Okay, and tell us more about this work you do with the divine feminine.
Okay. Well, first I want to make sure that it's understood I'm not then preferring this over the divine masculine. It's not like that. It's just, this is an energy we're speaking about, or rather, it's not even energy, it's consciousness. It's the void. It's that stillness. It's that realm within all of us that is very often hard to access for people because of their busy lives. So I want people to go within, to return to that quiet space. And it's not even about the phenomena of having all these dreams and visions, which are wonderful and they can teach you a lot about yourself, but it's actually more about just being and floating in that emptiness or that fullness. That is my work. That's the healing that comes. I often have the effect of being like a catalyst for people in ways that I'm not myself choosing to do. Like, it doesn't have to be in a healing session with me. It can be just a chance encounter, and then there's something that awakens in them or is dropped naturally. And it's not about me, but it's about the divine feminine, this void or neutrality, zero field energy. You can call it many, many things. I call it the divine feminine because, well, several reasons. One, it is the void, it is feminine, it's the dark before the light, which is masculine. Another reason is because this is the shift we're all moving into, from having been in a very patriarchal, dominant society for, millennia now. This is the time for us to move beyond the mind and logic and logos and go to pure frequencies, pure colors, pure symbolism, pure sound frequencies. All of this which is emerging now, that's part of the divine feminine. This is the language I speak, so to say, naturally, I'm fluent in. And then I can help others to grasp the abstract, this colorful world, so that they can also comprehend and then gain understanding. So I like to quote Einstein. He says knowledge isn't what it's all about. It's about imagination. And that word, image, nation, your inner world of images and frequencies and colors, as I said, that's the beauty, that's the gold, that's what you need to learn who you are and answer the question, who am I? And of course, you're continuously becoming, right? Because you're continuously really identifying yourself. So it's never ending.
I'm in part intuiting that Einstein had an influence on your life. You mentioned him here as a quote, and there's a couple of quotes on your website from Einstein. Was there some significant influence that Albert Einstein had on your life?
No, not really. Just he's one of many geniuses that I have a great respect for and admire. He's one of my heroes.
Okay.
It's Einstein, yes.
Okay.
So I do have a lot of his quotes. I love that he was not seen as spiritual. He was a scientist, but he had so much spiritual understanding.
Yes.
And when you boil it all down, it's all the same. Science and spirit, we're just separating them, but it's all the same.
Yeah. He didn't call it the spiritual, or at least he didn't speak of it that way, but those who call it that today recognize that this may have been what this great master was tapping into.
Yes, exactly.
Daganach, what can people expect when they would come to see you, when they would come to work with you?
Well, they would have to be ready to be transformed. No, seriously, there's something that takes place beyond my, education and skills. It's not about that. Those are aids, as I say. But something very profound can take place, and it might not even be the next day, but it will be a gradual, usually soft, letting go of things and just coming more into balance. So balance is another key word I'm glad my flow helped me to bring through here, because it's the feminine and masculine, when they're in perfect balance, that's harmony. So part of what I say with the divine natural order is not to, now prefer the feminine because we're moving into this age. No, we need to have the masculine always like a yin and yang balance, like sun and moon and light and dark, always beautifully dancing together in harmony. So people will experience more harmony within, and that can lead to more wholeness. I believe that's more of a true healing. You've got to do it on a very, very deep level, and then it can flow from there through mind blockages, traumas, to emotional scars and wounds, to physical, changing the world around you, changing your diet, but it starts from that void space.
If people wanted or needed to get in touch with you, Daganach, how would they do so? By email? Is there a website? What about social media?
Well, all of the above is fine. I have my email address on my website, so that's good. They can also contact me on Facebook. That's fine.
All right. Through a personal account or a Facebook page? I
have both. There's a Facebook profile page, and there's a Daganach page, and there's also the Ascended Avalon Facebook page.
Okay. I'm just making a note here. Ascended Avalon Facebook page also.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Daganach, it was a pleasure to be with you, to meet with you in this space. We'll make sure the contact information is scrolling at the end, as well as we'll make mention of the book, as well as that it's available on Amazon. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Robert. Time just flew by.
It did indeed.
I enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.